Well, slow food has been born in Italy in '86. Since then, slow food has become a global movement. We are at the moment representing about 160 countries around the world. Our philosophy is the food. Everybody is entitled to have good, clean and fair food. Good means that it's got to taste good, because if it doesn't taste good, what's the point of having food? Clean has to be working with the environment in a better way so we don't destroy our environment. And fair means that the people involved in the process, they have to be paid a fair price, because if they don't, they're going to disappear, they're going to go away. Most of the time we go to the supermarket to pick up something, but we don't understand and we don't know the history that is behind that piece of food that we put in our mouth, in a good and in a bad. So you can get some good food, you can get some bad food.
You've got someone here who produces his own food, works as a chef and is, spearheading the slow food movement. And I think people like that who have such in-depth understanding of the whole supply chain, essentially, all the way from its production to its consumption, like they're the people that we need educating consumers and producers and other stakeholders about the state of our food system.
Also, one of the big projects that Slow Food has is about biodiversity. It's called the Ark of Taste, which is a catalogue of all the food which is on the verge of extinction. We advertise that so people can actually eat that food, because by eating it will create the opportunity to reproduce the food.
When you look at something like the slow food movement, the way that we're producing food isn't sustainable, but it's also not sustainable for our health to keep buying and eating the food that we're currently eating, and it's not sustainable for producers to be as undervalued as they currently are, and it's also not sustainable for cultures. I think that's a key part that doesn't get talked about often, is that the way that we're just losing these massive parts of culture and familial connections.
We had our international council in Turkey, in Cappadocia, where the government is working so well with the local people to evaluate their food culture, their food tradition, their food production method. They have a local university where they actually teach the young generation, using the old people, how that food is prepared, how that food has been cultivated, and creating that new, vibrant, and that is amazing. People, they don't realize we're giving much more importance to our phone, our house, our car. What car you feel good in Ferrari, but they don't realize that food is the most important thing, because a piece of food, you take that orange, you put it in your mouth, 2 hours later, it's become part of you.
Yeah.
The Ferrari, the big house, still out there. It's got nothing to do with you.
Yes.
And we lost that connection. 50 years before, it was a completely different. The people had the knowledge. There was the transmission of the knowledge from the granddad to the nephew, from the mother to the daughter. We cut that with our society, and that is creating lots of problems. This one here, it brings me some memories from my previous life, I should say. We use those oranges when we kill the pig.
Okay.
To clean the intestine.
Right.
Then you fill up with the sausages. You make the sausage out.
Okay.
So we used to have that sort of. I use that one and not lemons, because the lemons is too acid.
Okay.
It will break the intestine down. Well, this one is just nice to take away the flavor.
Yeah.
So we need to establish that continuity of on information and knowledge.
The role of educating consumers needs to be done in tandem with these big, bold structural reforms that have to completely alter the way that we look at food and understanding food as not just something that is necessary for nutrition, but as something that is a basic human right and a basic human need.
It's a lot of questions that our politicians they need to answer. And us as consumer, we need to start to ask, because when we decide where to spend our dollar, is that when we make the decision. As a single consumer, we think we haven't got power, but we actually have big power. The problem is that we're not using it, and because we're not being educated in it.
Yeah, I think there are plenty of small things that we can start doing in our own day-to-day lives and with the people around us to take some steps towards creating a better and more equitable food system. And, opting to buy your food, say, from a farmer's market. Also seeking out those paddock-to-plate experiences or farm gate experiences where you have direct contact with the producer and conversations in general with the people in your life, and not just about those really direct action things like where you buy your food and how you make your food and creating time to share food together, but also kind of probing the bigger structural issues that are largely dictating how our food system operates. Have those conversations with people.
You get people to understand that food is not a complicated thing. It's a very simple thing, and it's a part of our culture, and we need to embrace it as much as we can.
Yeah, so I think what we've learnt this morning is that no part of the food system can be addressed in isolation. So looking at everything, as an integrated system is really important. And we have the Regen WA conference coming up in September where we're looking at that exact matter. And then that's also going to be continued on at a satellite event, Grounded, which Matthew Evans is hosting. And that's more, the on-ground action side of that. So if that's up your alley, come along.